I'm Josh Hayes, and today we're going back to 1998 and replaying the classic Game Boy RPG Pokémon Red and Blue.
I'm Fennekin Fox 326, and I will be guiding you through the wonderful world of autism this evening. This retrospective is filled to the brim with lies, and I thought it would be hilarious to point them all out and yell a bunch of slurs for the next hour.
I'll be going through the whole game, beating all the gym leaders, finding all the hidden legendary birds, and then showing you some of the more famous exploits and glitches, because honestly, with the amount of shortcuts and coding hacks they had to use, it's a miracle this game even runs at all.
That's incredibly exaggerated, and I will proceed to prove my case with the same amount of effort you just have. Maybe he's just waiting to explain what these coding hacks are later. I'll keep that pinned for now.
We'll be looking at the broken combat system, the exploitable encounter rate, the dark and hidden lore, and then confirming that rumour about Mew. Before we start our Pokemon journey to take down the Elite Four, a massive thank you to all the supporters on Patreon and Twitch.
You poor people, you've been scammed!
Grab a drink and settle in, as we ask Pokemon Generation 1, was it any good?
Yes.
Pokemon is the highest grossing franchise in the world, and it all started with this game. Pokemon Green, released only in Japan.
Oh boy, we already have our first problem. Pokemon Green and Red were released in Japan. Game Freak's strategy of releasing two of the same game with mild differences is a defining characteristic of the Pokemon series, and it was one of the reasons it was such a success. You leaving it out is not a good sign. Not to mention, when one person called you out on it, instead of doing the bare minimum of correcting yourself in the comments section, you said whatever this is. Pokemon Green was only released in Japan along with Pokemon Red. Then when they were ported to the West, Green became Pokemon Blue. Pocket Monsters Green only released in Japan mainline games. That is also not fully correct. In Japan they released Pokemon Blue, which was an updated version with better artwork and more dialogue. The Japanese Pokemon Blue was then localized into the Red and Blue we know today in America. This is all pretty common knowledge if you give even a single shit about the franchise. Pokemon Green, Japan only. He then proceeds to link a fucking Reddit post. Pokemon Green became Pokemon Blue, but Green was Japan only. Pokemon Green became Pokemon Blue when released outside Japan. Pokemon Green only in Japan. If you want to apologize, I will happily accept it. I think you missed the point.
The game was then localized for Western audiences and re-released as Pokemon Red and Blue. It always seems strange to me that the Game Boy games released before the card game.
Actually, to my surprise, Bandai released a full set of Pokemon cards a month before the card game was released. However, yes, the card game was released a whole 10 days after the Game Boy games.
If you played these games, then you were there at the start. You lived through the birth of the biggest franchise in history.
I played the games physically, and I was born in 2005.
In this video, I'll be playing through Pokemon Blue because it was the one I owned as a kid.
Of course you owned Blue, you fucking pussy.
And I'll be pointing out the differences with the Red version as they happen. At the main menu, you can choose New Game or Continue.
Holy shit!
Now, because this game was made for old Game Boy hardware, you can only have one saved game at a time. If you mess up or corrupt your game, which is extremely easy to do, you need to restart from the beginning.
I have no idea what you did to your game files, but I played through Gen 1 3 times, each on a different version. And I never once encountered a game-breaking bug that completely ruined my save file. I even did the missing no glitch and that didn't break it.
Choosing New Game, we are greeted by Professor Oak and he explains what Pokemon are. The word Pokemon is the combination of pocket monsters, wild animal type things which roam the world so humans capture them and train them to fight each other.
That's alright so far.
While it's generally accepted now that Pokemon only attack other Pokemon and not humans, this game proves that wrong.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There are many occasions where Pokemon attack humans after Gen 1.
While the lore of Pokemon now might be all child-friendly and sanitized, in Generation 1, if you read deeply, you'll discover it's pretty messed up.
Gen 1 definitely feels different compared to the modern Pokemon games, but I definitely wouldn't call it messed up. Later games like Black and White told much darker stories.
You can give yourself a name and then you meet your rival, Professor Oak's grandson. We're now shrunk down to sprite form and the adventure begins. Pokemon Red and Blue are top-down RPG adventures. You explore the tiled overworld, adventuring through forests, caves, towns, and even the ocean. If you're an edgy edgelord, you choose the fire Pokemon Charmander.
Damn right.
If you're a tactical genius, you choose the grass Pokemon Bulbasaur.
Ah, someone likes to stroke his own ego.
And no one chose the water Pokemon Squirtle.
Where the fuck do you live?
So let's look at the battle system in a bit more depth. If you choose to fight, you and your opponent actually choose attacks at the same time.
Actually, in Gen 1, the opposing trainer can read your inputs. The cheating bastards.
Damage a Pokemon can take before it faints.
Look at this loser using a potion in the first battle. This is why you should pick Charmander.
You have moves like Tackle, which is the default move every Pokemon knows,
Every Pokemon.
and 100% accuracy as standard. Although 100% accuracy moves can still miss based on the opponent's evasion and the random miss glitch.
I have never in my life heard anyone refer to the 1 in 256 glitch as the random miss glitch. Probably because it sounds retarded, and is much less specific.
If you do knock out an opponent Pokemon using Hyper Beam, you don't need to recharge next turn, making it objectively the best move for every situation.
What about ghost types? They're completely immune to normal type moves.
Swift is meant to have a 100% hit chance regardless of modifiers, but it can still miss, because when the game calculates a hit chance, it generates a number from 0 to 255, with the instruction that less than 255 is a hit. But if it happens to generate exactly 255, it's not less than, and therefore still misses.
Swift actually completely skips the accuracy check, making it immune to the 1 in 256 glitch. The same is also true with the Master Ball.
The first battle with Butt is pretty basic, just keep attacking, and he'll use non-damaging moves on you. Ignore them and keep tackling, and if you get low on health, use the potion you withdrew earlier. You will never lose.
Damn it!
Winning gets you exactly 69 experience points.
Jokes aside, a different problem with this video is that it doesn't know its own audience. You're explaining some of the most basic game mechanics as if the people watching this video have never heard of Pokemon before in their life, when in reality, the only people watching these retrospectives have already played Pokemon or at least seen it before.
Each encounter gets you this cool screen blackout effect, and the battle music starts up, which we can all agree is nostalgic as hell.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
So we adventure on and talk to this dude, and he gives us a free potion and tells us to go to the Pokemart in the next town over, and this is good design, especially for an RPG, because we've talked to the first random person we've bumped into, and we got rewarded for it.
Actually, this is the first random NPC you run into.
Now it's time to progress. We get to killing some wild Pokemon. Bulbasaur levels up and learns Leech Seed. This attack saps health from the enemy each turn and refills ours, and it's going to be essential for the first gym. Brock uses ground and rock based Pokemon, which is great because that means they are weak to grass, and Bulbasaur happens to be grass, so Leech Seed rips them apart.
Leech Seed is a status move, so it's not affected by type advantages, meaning it will always take away 1/16 of the opponent's HP.
And now a speedrunning tactic. When a Pokemon's health is full, the health bar is green, half is orange, and
First of all, it's yellow. And also, if you're playing on the original Game Boy, then it doesn't change color at all.
low is red, and when your own health is red, the game will begin beeping. This state is known as red bar. While in red bar, certain combat animations and sounds will play faster.
Animations and sounds don't play faster when under red bar. The beeping sound is prioritized over many sound effects and prevents them from playing. And because those sound effects never play, the game doesn't wait for them, making everything go by faster.
In caves, every step you take is a potential encounter. You can buy the item Repel, Super Repel, or Max Repel to reduce the encounter rate, but even that doesn't entirely stop it.
You cannot buy repels before the first cave, Mount Moon, but once you can buy them, it doesn't lower the encounter rate, it completely removes it. Unless the Pokemon in the first slot of your party is under the level of the Pokemon being encountered, you won't run into any wild Pokemon while it's active.
Reach Cerulean City, and if you have a Game Boy Color, you'd marvel at the pixels changing colour, but if you had a regular Game Boy like me, you'll wonder why they went to a slightly different shade of grey.
The colors didn't change at all on the original Game Boy. The Game Boy only had 4 shades of grey.
Slowpoke's special attack stat is 15.
In Gen 1, there was no special attack stat, only a special stat. I've been shitting all over this guy for a while now. It's only fair that I show a somewhat funny part of the video.
Bill has turned himself into a Pokemon and we need to use a machine to turn him human again. This whole section has massive lore implications. Can people just become Pokemon? Are some wild Pokemon potentially people? The canon answer is maybe.
That got me to smile. Good job.
So when I walked into this tunnel, well, it's dark. Very dark. Now, you can see the edges of the walls and the ladders because I'm playing on the Super Game Boy emulated version, but when I was a kid playing on an original Game Boy, you can't see the edges.
Yes, you could. Did you never mess with the contrast slider?
Remember how there's different elemental types of damage and defense? Well, Abra is Psychic, and Psychic is super effective against ghosts.
No, it's not. Psychic is super effective against poison types. Did you never check Bulbapedia while making this?
And wouldn't you know it, Butt is here as well. And this is the first time I lose a fight. Unfortunately, Butt has a very high level Alakazam, a Psychic type, and he wrecks my team. Psychic is so broken I can't stand up to it. And this is the first time in the game I actually need to go and grind for levels.
It's almost like only focusing on leveling up a single poison type isn't an optimal strategy.
During the gym leader fight, Mew levels up to 40 and learns Psychic, and now the game is basically solved. Psychic is such an incredibly powerful move, it should help us 1 or 2 hit kill anything. The whimsy of travel and exploration is replaced with the jaded and somewhat repetitive task of using 1-hit kills, and you've gone from a fresh-faced novice, full of wonder and excitement, to a grizzled veteran. Playing when you are the most powerful thing isn't always fun. The battles, which up until now were always engaging, are now just same old, same old. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. The RPG element has been reduced to win the battle. Once you can move around the land easily, it's just about the battles, and the battles themselves aren't that good.
You cheated by adding a powerful legendary Pokemon to your party through unintended means, and now you're complaining that it's made the game too easy.
We need to fight 4 powerful trainers using some of the highest leveled, most powerful Pokemon with the most powerful attacks in the game. And normally, this wouldn't be a problem, because we can return to a Poké Center to restore our health and our power points for every move, but you need to fight all 4 of them with no breaks.
You do get breaks after beating a member of the Elite Four. You're free to use as many potions, revives, and elixirs as you want before facing the next challenge.
First up is Lorelei, with her ice Pokemon who would freeze me, but Zapdos takes them down pretty damn fast because electric is powerful against ice.
You are fucking retarded.
And so begins the final battle. A fresh-faced and fully healed Butt against our team of bruised and battered, weak Pokemon. This is hardly fair.
You just suck at the game.
And to mark the occasion, the game uses exclusive music you'll only hear in this fight.
You left that in.
Remember how broken the code in this game is? Well, it's a miracle it works at all. And now we get to exploit it in the most insane way, to catch a Pokemon that doesn't even exist. So, Pokemon the first generation, red, blue and yellow, were they any good? Honestly, from a game coding point of view, they're a complete mess. They are full of shortcuts, quick fixes, and variables sharing memory locations which make certain game tricks happen. And it's incredible they weren't even more broken given the amount of stuff they've crammed into a game.
Remember that pin? Yeah. I watched through the whole video and the only shortcuts, coding hacks, and broken code he mentioned were the increased catch rates when under a status condition, which I wouldn't really call a bug. The overflow glitch, where if you boost your stats too high, which is unlikely to happen, it will roll back to lower numbers. How some moves are broken, like Focus Energy halving your critical hit chance and Toxic mixed with Leech Seed increasing the amount of damage it deals, and finally Missing No, which you have to actively go out of your way to encounter. This retrospective was really bad, and it completely ruins the creator's, Josh Strife Plays, credibility. I'm lucky that I knew enough about Pokemon to notice his bullshit. If you want to see some actually good Pokemon retrospectives, then watch Chaseface's video, Pokemon What Happened, which goes into a lot of detail about the early game. or one of King K's retrospectives on the series, which are all incredibly well researched and I would highly recommend.